Welcome guys, Aaron here for the Love of Tech, and I want to go ahead and just dig into a few things on the Galaxy Z Fold 2 that I think you need to know to help you get started. So the first thing I want to go ahead and bring up is the speaker position of this bad boy. So what I've discovered is when holding it, watching videos, I tend to put my finger, mainly my little pinky, right down there, which goes right over that speaker grill. It's a very natural way to hold the device. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. It's not in a bad position. It's just where it is. I just need to learn to retrain myself to hold it more with this hand than with this hand. Because I am right-handed, I usually leave this hand to hold my devices and this hand free to do other stuff. So now I got to go ahead and kind of retrain myself, and I want you guys to be mindful of that right out the box. Is that speaker grill is right there. So there is also a speaker up there as well, so you get dual speakers both ends right there on that panel. So just be mindful of that. So you'll muffle it and you'll understand why, and you'll be like, oh, that's what he was talking about. Or you have the device and you're like, yeah, I can totally agree with that. Another thing I want us to be mindful of with this device is that we have essentially two phones, right? One here and one here. Both have screens independent of each other that are connected by a hinge. You see that beautiful, wonderful hinge action right here. Let me go ahead and show you that. That great hinge reveals itself. It's just hiding in there. And then when you open it up, it flawlessly just disappears into nothing. So you have this going on. Each of these panels has its own battery in there. They're not huge. I think, if I'm going from memory, and if I'm wrong, head down to the comments and tell me, because I love it when you tell me I'm wrong. I think there's a total of 4,300 milliamp battery in here. So it's not even 4,500. It's not 5,000. It's 4,300. So is that disappointing? Oh yeah. So this is the device that you're gonna have to charge. I'm going on my first full day with the device today. Let's go ahead and get that activated. And I'm already 93% since I've woken up this morning. So we'll go ahead and just see how our screen on time produces through the rest of the day. And I'll report that back to you guys via Twitter. If you're not following me on Twitter, please go ahead and do so now. There is a link in the description below. Next thing I want to go ahead and bring up, if you are coming from a Galaxy S20 anything or a Note anything, you're going to realize that all of a sudden you no longer have curved edges. We now have flat edges like we used to have back in the day before the Edge took over and then essentially became the Samsung standard. So it's a little different how it feels when you're flicking back and forth if you're using screen navigation gestures like I do. Even here, it's a little different because it's a bit of a sharper edge compared to what I'm used to as a user. So something to be mindful of. I noticed it right away. Fingers weren't feeling as smooth as they normally do. So something to be mindful of. So when I was originally messing around with this, I was slightly disappointed because I only had one home screen. And I thought to myself, so if I want to go ahead and get to my other apps, I have to open up my phone because that's the only option I had. So on this, the way it is you have one home screen. But just like on any other Samsung device, all you have to do is push and hold, come over here, add, come back, and I'm going to move my authenticator, whoopsie, over to that screen now. So now we've got a second screen. I've got my authenticator over there. It's not an app I use all the time, but I do like to keep it handy, and it helps me keep this home screen clean. If you have other things you want to go ahead and have quick access to, go ahead and just create by press long hold a second screen. If you want a third screen, you can have that too, which I was pretty happy to find out because I was slightly disappointed. I was like, how come they only give me one screen? Why doesn't it work like a regular Samsung user interface? So it does, so everybody can just relax. I just wanted to go out of my way and show you guys that you can add a second, third, fourth, or fifth screen if you need it. So good job there, guys. By default, this setting is not in your device. So let me go ahead and show you what I'm talking about here. Go under display and then click on continuous apps on cover screen. And let me go ahead and show you a demonstration of that. So come over here, go to your settings, just type in display and it will come right up. So go to your display. Now continuous apps on cover screen. So when this is turned on, let's give you an idea of how it works. So let's just go ahead and go into Google Chrome and turn that off. Here's Google Chrome. We have that turned off right now. We're going to go ahead and close the device. Nothing activates, nothing comes on. We saw that. So we're going to come over here, turn it back on, go back to the settings, and now we're going to put Chrome is on. So we're going to swipe that up, come over to our menu, select Google Chrome. Now we're going to shut it, and look, Google Chrome automatically pops up on the front screen. That's what they're calling it, the front screen. Get used to it. Open it up, it pops open. Whatever you have going on the front screen, it doesn't matter. Let's just say it's Twitter. Right, you have Twitter going on, blowing up with all your wonderful Z Fold notifications. And when you open it up, it automatically comes here. This way, it's kind of in reverse and it still gets you the same effect as before. So I encourage you to go into that setting right away. Take a look at the apps that you want that to work on, apps that you don't. Samsung did a great job of letting you decide which apps you want to be able to have that functionality. Okay, here's another one. It's gonna seem silly, guys, but I want to talk to you about it because I put some time and thought into this. I don't know what the rest of you guys are doing, but when I open up my phone and I want to close it, I tend to want to push and hold here. And when doing that, to hold the phone and then fold it over. But when I'm doing that, I'm activating the edit home screen. So I'm thinking to myself, if I just push and hold lightly, the pressure does it. So I can't do that or it's going to happen every time. So what I've kind of been training myself to do, and what I want to suggest for you, is when holding it right here, you hold it by the bottom edge of whichever one you're trying to fold it on top of. So if you're over here and you're trying to fold it on top, then you hold it down here and you just fold it, and it's nice and easy peasy, no big deal. So now if you're holding it over here, hold it at the bottom here, and then you just close it, easy peasy. Next thing I want to go ahead and talk to you guys about are dual apps. So we now have 2 screens, a whole lot of real estate. We need to make sure that we're using it to the best of our ability. I'm going to go ahead and activate a screen share so I can go ahead and share this stuff with you guys. So let's go ahead, start recording that. Now I've already created a couple different items which activate dual screen. So let me go ahead and show you. So boom, it automatically loads these 2 things up right away. So just swipe up to close them both. But let's say you want to go ahead and create your own super amazing combination. Let's say we want to go ahead and have Twitter right there. So that's the main screen. There you go. Now we're going to come over here and let's say we want to get our Zoom. So you're going to hold it, put it there, it's going to create a pop-up. Put it there, it's going to go on that side of the device. Put it here, it's going to go on the top. Put it there, it's going to go on the right or the left. So I'm going to go ahead and put it right there. So we can go ahead and get away from whatever craziness Jeremy has on his Twitter account. So good job there. We're going to go ahead and hit that button in the middle. Now what this does is when you look at it, see, it's a little plus and adds to the side, or there's a little swappy swap. So you do that, they swap screens, right? You do that, it changes the orientation. So it's the three little dots, the setting button in the middle. So let's go ahead and hit that. And now you saw that come to the side. Now down here, I'm going to have a pair. So I'm going to come up here and put my pairs there because I like to keep my paired apps together. So next time, if I want to be on Twitter and I have a Zoom call at the same time, I'm going to go like this. So the other thing, we're going to go ahead and change the orientation. So now I change the orientation again so we can have Zoom on top with the camera there, and I can be on my little Twitter because sometimes those Zoom calls are so dang boring. You need a little Twitter to get you through it. So that is what I wanted to show you. Just some quick little things that I discovered and I've been enjoying about this device. So there we go. It's like nothing I've ever seen before. Absolutely not. So again, we're on Twitter. We close it. Our Twitter pops up right there. It's beautiful. If you don't like that setting, you can just go ahead, turn it off, and then you got to hit the power button. But the device is phenomenal. I use that word a lot, but it's out of control how amazing this feels. The weight of it, the power, the functionality, the creativity, the features. This is the phone Samsung has been dying to make for us. And I'm so glad they finally got a chance to do it. Like, comment, subscribe, share my content with your friends and family on social media. For the love of tech, till next time, namaste.